My name is Lena, and I'm a woman from New York City with a story to tell. I remember that afternoon so clearly. It was a baby shower with soft colors, laughter, and music. It was supposed to be a happy time. But then my brother John stood up. He had a glass in his hand and a strange smile. Looking at his wife and my sister-in-law, he said in a voice I didn't recognize, "That deed was a mistake. This house belongs to us, not to you." The room became quiet. The sound of glasses stopped. Everyone gasped. My husband was next to me, frozen, holding his fork tightly. Before I could speak, my mother spoke up with cold eyes. "We're moving in after the baby is born. That house was meant to be ours." It felt like cold water on my skin. I felt a chill. I wanted to scream, but my phone buzzed. It was a text from a number I didn't know. It said, "Don't react to his words. They're recording you." I looked up and saw my cousin pretending to film the cake. His phone was pointed at me. They were trying to trick me. I forced a smile that hurt my cheeks and said, "Thanks for that interesting opinion." Then I got up and walked to the hallway. I took out my phone and used the smart lock app. I deleted all the family codes and guest access. No more surprise visits. By midnight, my phone was full of missed calls, mostly from them. But I didn't answer. I didn't buy that house to start a fight. I bought it because my husband and I needed a home. A place where we could be safe and build our own life. Years before, when my parents were behind on their mortgage, I helped them. I paid for everything while my brother borrowed money for his car trips and school. I worked extra hours and we spent less on vacations. I told my husband I would set boundaries. I lied because it's hard to set boundaries with family. When my grandparents died, my mother started talking about money for the kids. The talks became louder. "Your brother should get most of it. He's starting a family sooner." But we were trying to have a baby too. Fertility treatments cost a lot. And I didn't get anything. So I did what I always do. I made it happen myself. I saved every penny and bought a house that needed work. I spent my nights and weekends on it. I fixed the plumbing, the wiring, and painted everything myself. When the paint was dry, my mother stood in the living room and said, "It still feels like our family's house." She meant her family, not ours. I laughed then, but I shouldn't have. The demands never stopped. They never paid back loans. There were last-minute problems and emotional threats that seemed like love. When my husband, I said we were pregnant, the extra bedroom became a space for my brother and his girlfriend. My husband squeezed my hand under the table. We said no. Then the stories started. Grandma wanted the house to stay in the family. They said my repairs were a team effort because my dad gave advice on the phone. My brother said he was emotionally involved because of his Pinterest boards. Every week there was a new excuse. I made my boundaries stronger. I stopped automatic payments and wrote everything down. My mother said I was selfish and had changed. My brother came over with moving plans. I said no. They called me controlling. My mom asked me to be the bigger person. Meanwhile, my husband got texts saying he was turning me against the family. I put up cameras, updated the locks, and told them no surprise visits, no keys, no codes. They said I was breaking the family apart, but I had just locked my door. My brother said I owed him because he had stayed with our parents. Well, I bought a house. I showed him proof the house was bought with our savings. He asked me to co-sign for a car. I said no. He called my husband and said I was bad with money. The story changed again. Family is more important than paperwork, my dad said. Your feelings matter more than signatures, my mom added. And as the nursery looked better, their voices got louder. The toast at the baby shower was not a mistake. It was a planned move to get me to react on camera so they could say I was unsafe and take over the house. I didn't react. I smiled, left, changed the codes, and made my move. The calls and texts and guilt trips came. "You're making this harder than it needs to be," my brother said. He meant, "Give us what we want so we can stop pretending to be nice." I didn't reply. I went to work and tried to stay calm. When my parents came over without calling and put their coats in my living room, I told them no. No. I said again louder and stronger. This is my house, not a place for your mistakes. The room was silent. My brother's mouth dropped open. My dad's face turned red. I used my phone to open the smart lock app. I deleted every code and updated the main code. My mom gasped, "You locked us out." I said, "I'm setting boundaries. If you can't respect them, that's your problem." My brother started yelling, but I stopped him. "This talk is over." They left. I stood there with my heart pounding. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. "Good job. You need to keep doing this." By the morning it was quiet. No texts, no knocks, just peace. For the first time in years, the house felt like a home. I checked the cameras, gave my husband breakfast and went to work. Rumors spread. She stole the family home. She's turning everyone against us. She needs help. I saved every message and post and documented their lies. I sent one text to the family group chat. All future talks must be in writing. No calls. I will report anyone who doesn't follow this. My dad replied with a thumbs down. My mom with a prayer emoji. 2 days later they came back. They had suitcases and plans. I said no. They left the suitcases on the porch and left. An hour later the police came. I showed them everything. The messages, the videos, the proof. They nodded. We see these kinds of problems a lot with new babies. We will note the harassment. I filed no trespass orders, updated the hospital visitor list and blocked everyone but a few people I trusted. The phone kept ringing and the posts kept coming, but I stayed strong. My husband cried once, wishing it wasn't like this. I told him the truth. It was always like this. We just stopped pretending. Then as the baby's due date got closer, the chaos stopped. A cousin I barely knew sent a message. "I'm proud of you for breaking the cycle." I saved it. When the baby came messy, loud, and perfect, the noise in my head was finally gone. No group chats, no fake problems, just my child's breaths. I held him close, knowing this was what I had fought for. Not just a house, but a home and a family we chose.